Today I'll be upgrading the front suspension of my 72 volt Razor MX650 by replacing the stock fork guides with longer, stronger 3D printed versions. I'll also be upgrading the rear suspension by fitting in a 200mm air shock. In the previous video, we saw that the front forks were loose since they were extended by the upgraded springs. We'll first take the wheel off along with unbolting the forks. Then, with 2 screwdrivers, I'm taking out the original fork guides. I 3D printed these guides with my Creality Ender 3v2. These will be under high pressure, so it's important that the density is set high.
So we have the 3D printed inserts, right? I did have to cut them, they were a little too long. Here is a size comparison of the original, just for reference. So we've got about an extra inch and a half on there, and that's going to keep the forks from wobbling when I'm braking.
So when I brake with my front, can you tell? It pulls, so the left side, the left fork is loose.
Here's me reverting to caveman brain.
So I had to make a makeshift spring compressor, so I took a wrench and some zip ties and got that compressed because I have to put this in. It's a 3D printed C-clip for the new 3D printed fork guides. So I'm going to go ahead and install those. They fit perfectly. Nice and tight. I had to take it out anyway because I forgot to put the thing. I forgot to put this in. Uh-oh. Oh shit. This popped out. How did that happen? Okay, that was actually a lot bigger of a problem than I thought it was. I had gotten this completely down in there. The spring somehow came, like, I don't know how this happened. Plastic top piece on top of the spring to keep it flat came out. I'm sure it's on video, I'll show that. And the spring came out, and then I had this all the way down in there by itself, and I just happened to get it out with this, and it took like 10 minutes. So I know it's not the best thing to use as a spring compressor, but it works.
Here I'm reinstalling the forks. It actually takes a while to line up the Allen wrench with the bolt.
I had to add some washers in between the brake and the mount in order to get the wheel to spin smoothly.
The new guides are a huge improvement. Look at that happy little fella.
Feeling good.
I'm taking some measurements to create the mount for the voltage meter. When creating things in CAD softwares, I like to start with the necessary measurements, such as the meter itself and the handlebars, then base the rest of the model off those.
So I 3D designed and printed this out of TPU. It is my voltage and current meter, and it slides in perfectly like that, and it will mount right on the bike like this.
Did a great job of making it look like I purposefully knocked off my expensive shunt onto the ground. The shunt is what allows the meter to read the current and power of the system under load. It's a resistor with a known value that remains constant, and since the voltage drop is known, the current can be calculated using Ohm's law.
time for the moment of truth. Let's see if this voltage and current meter works. It works. It shows me the voltage, capacity, the current right there, the power, and the energy used, the watt hours, and that's the state of charge right there. Just got this in the mail. Let's install it.
I purchased a 200mm DNM AOY-38RC mountain bike air shock, which fits perfectly onto the rear of this bike. Now it's time to make a mount for my key switch. I took measurements with my dial calipers and started modeling in Fusion 360. Everything on the part is perfect. It fits perfectly. Except that the hole doesn't line up. I must have miscalculated something. But I can drill a hole in and then it's no big deal. I rewired the key switch using a portable butane soldering iron.
So if you recall from previous videos, the suspension was absolutely terrible. It, roll the clip. So now with this air suspension in the back, I have it tuned to my weight. It should feel infinitely better. As well with the upgraded front shocks there. The 3D printed guides have done a lot better so far. Oh. Unfortunately, we're on only 48 volts right now, just because the cell on one of my other batteries is dead completely, so be careful with buying drone batteries for projects like this. I'm working on a big 72 volt battery though, so I got the wattage and voltage, current, everything meter installed. It's looking great with this 3D printed mount, as well as the key here. So this bike's looking almost complete. Really just needs like a paint job or something. So let's go for a ride. We're about to go on a ride to test the suspension, but I've got this crazy transition idea. Oh. Ooh.
Oh, that feels so much better. Are you kidding me? The bumps just feel infinitely better already. Over some rough terrain real quick and see how it does. I'm sitting down too, so. Oh my gosh. Oh, that is so smooth. Oh my gosh, this feels so good, guys. What the heck? Like, it's actually easy to ride at this point. All right, there's a ton of bumps right here. Let's see how it does.
For this test ride, I only used 2 6-cell lithium polymer batteries in series for 48 volts. I don't recommend using hobby RC batteries since it's necessary to balance charge them. Many times the cells die completely and there's nothing you can do to revive individual cells from zero.
What if we go up this? I say on 48 volts we're getting about 30 miles an hour. jump off this. Handled it pretty well. The front shocks are super responsive now, and it no longer rattles my tailbone. Yeah, the shocks are doing an amazing job. And this thing is fast even on 48 volts.
Well, all in all, I'm super pleased with the bike. The suspension does an amazing job of carrying my weight. I'm sure it would carry up to 250 pounds as well. The front shocks are insanely responsive now, and this rear shock does an insane job. It is a mountain bike shock, if I didn't clarify that before, and I can link it in the description as well. Yeah, amazing upgrade for this bike, definitely needed. It doesn't have the same ride height as it did before, but I think it compensates for the way that it rides. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and do everything like that. Thank you.